Hello and welcome back to the channel. The manhwa we are going to recap today is about a girl who can talk to ghosts and predict the future. So let's begin our recap. A maid says that Lady Camilla is truly amazing while the other maid agrees, wondering how she knew that the factory would catch on fire. She mentions that Camilla also guessed the count's unborn child's gender. The maid replies by mentioning the death of the butler, but then they spot someone. Lady Camilla appears and thinks about how she knows those things. She realizes it's because she has already seen it dozens of times. She has witnessed these scenes countless times in her dreams from her previous life. In her dreams, she was hated and used like a fool. Ultimately, her own family was responsible for her demise. However, now that she is Camilla, she can't die just like that. A voice calls out to Lady Camilla. Camilla turns and smiles, telling herself that her other ability is that she can see ghosts. A ghost butler asks Camilla if she will be taking care of the Duke's flower garden today, while the chief suggests that it would be a good idea to begin by preparing the Duke's favorite soup. The ghosts keep on talking and Camilla tells them to calm down, requesting one ghost at a time only. Camilla notes, however, that Archean Sepra, the eldest son of Duke Sepra, was calling out to her. Peter Jevelin, the eldest son of Duke Jevelin, greets her as Lady. Camilla points at herself in confusion, saying that even those people she wishes to avoid have become unexpectedly involved. Camilla tells herself that it'll be all right. Right? A yell is heard calling out to father. The Duke of Sorfel, the head of the Duchy of Sorfel, puts his hand on his head. He says that there was a foolish woman. A scream is yelled asking for help and pleading to be saved. The father says that she was despised for behaving maliciously. She was jeered at home. A woman who can't do anything other than be cruel. Even the reason for her death is ludicrous. Her brother's terrible revenge. Ravi Sorfel, second son of the Duchy of Sorfel, finds it pathetic that she died while being used for her brother's revenge. The father asks how they dare try to harm his eldest son. This sin is too great that he can't just ignore it. The daughter begs her father while the father tells them to take them away. The end of this pathetic story is that the sister yells for Ludwig to please help as most of it ends in this man's hands. Ludwig Sorfel, eldest son of the Duchy of Sorfel, hears his sister yell that she didn't really mean to kill him. Brother, as she begs him. The brother takes out his sword and brings it close to Camilla. He cuts it and Camilla gasps in fear. It was a dream and Camilla says to herself that the way she died today is so bloody. But she's glad she wasn't executed by guillotine. Camilla holds her head and asks the ghost granny what she thinks. Camilla says yeah. She understands that she can see ghosts, but what is this dream that she has been having for 20 years? A thought strikes Camilla's head and she asks if the granny knows why. She is a ghost after all. Camilla started seeing ghosts when she was 5 years old when her mother died. A ghost with a broken head. A ghost with a long tongue. She has seen a lot of scary ghosts, but she was never scared. Unless she is scared, it's very rare that ghosts can harm humans. The scene cuts to the broadcasting company studio where the actors say to wait and please wait while the director says cut. The director thanks Ms. Sia for her hard work. She had a great day today. It's impressive she doesn't make mistakes. Sia says thank you while the director says that when he works with Ms. Sia, he feels really comfortable. As expected, she is a national actor. A national actor. A top star with the highest price. This description is amazing just by listening to it. The career that she, Sia Lee, built for herself since she was 14. Some girl calls out to Ms. Sia and Sia replies asking if it's Ji Hyun. Ji Hyun says that thanks to her, she had a good time. Sia asks what she is doing here, wondering if today is still part of her vacation to visit her ancestral home. Ji Hyun says that she arrived in Seoul today. She came to say her thanks to her. Ji Hyun thanks her for sending her wreath for the funeral. Thanks to her, she sent her grandmother off well. Sia says it's okay. She was just wondering what happened because her fortune wasn't good that day. Ji Hyun says that she heard that Ms. Sia is great at fortune telling. She never thought she would even guess the news about her grandmother's funeral. Sia, all flustered, laughs it off and says it's nothing. She thinks to herself that the ghost of her grandmother came all the way to her home and begged all day for her to help. So she had no choice. She wonders if Ji Hyun knows how many nights she stayed up thanks to her despite her work schedule. Well, it's also because Ji Hyun is a coworker who worked with her for a long time. So she didn't mind helping. Ji Hyun says that's right and as she said, She also dug under the persimmon tree in the east of her grandmother's house. Sia says oh yeah and asks how it was. Ji-hyun says that she found the money she put in the jar and a letter she wrote. When she read it, it was a will with estate that her grandmother left for her. Sia says wow, she guesses she has some luck with finding wealth. How interesting. Ji-hyun makes an adorable face and says as expected, Miss Sia is always amazing. Sia laughs to herself and thinks good job finding it. Yes, that's what she heard from her grandmother all night. The grandmother's voice was all about saying that she was busy living with terrible parents and having multiple part-time jobs to also take care of her younger brother. Her grandmother had many regrets that she left her behind. Her granddaughter is a little poor thing. Sia speeds off and says that then she'll go to her waiting room and thanks her. Ji-hyun says yes and wishes her good luck with today's shoot. She'll make her twice as pretty tomorrow. The ghost behind her says thank you and asks to please continue to take good care of Ji-hyun. Sia thinks to herself if she will finally go. She turns and says goodbye, Grandma. A voice is heard asking Ms. Sia to please change into her outfit for the next shoot. Sia thinks to herself that she's tired after that headache has been solved. She needs to rest. Sia closes her eyes, saying to herself that she thinks she can sleep better if she doesn't dream that same dream again. She thinks to herself about why on earth she is constantly dreaming that dream. A woman who dies pathetically again and again. When she dies, she will wake up. Sia's eyes open wide. She is shivering in fear. She thinks to herself why she can't wake up and about those eyes. Someone is looking at her. She needs to wake up. Sia tells herself to hurry up and wake up now. Sia wakes up gasping and yelling out that she needs to wake up. She thinks to herself what that was. The dream always ended when she died. It's the first time she has ever seen that dead woman. This is making her feel anxious. Sia says that she's going to the set while the worker says that there's still an hour left. As Sia walks, she says to herself that she has never been afraid of ghosts. The eyes that contain resentment and sadness. Sia freezes again while the director says Ms. Sia came early. He asks if they shall try to act right away. Sia says okay, sounds good. Sia grabs her script and thinks to herself that the scene where she attends the male lead's birthday party as a partner and takes care of him as his secretary isn't hard. It'll be good. Suddenly the chandelier starts moving violently and one of the men yells what's wrong with that chandelier. One of the men yells at her to watch out. Everyone has a shocked look as the chandelier falls down on her head. They scream to hurry up and call the ambulance. Ms. Sia is bleeding. Sia thinks to herself what happened. She looks at a ghost and says that faces her. She says to herself damn, those ghosts have been bothering her so much throughout her life. In the end, she ends up dying because of the ghost. She asks to please cancel everything. Camilla screams to cancel what she said earlier that ghosts don't harm humans. She is puzzled and asks herself why her body is so light. She wonders if her face is okay and if she's not wearing a bandage. She thinks the chandelier falling was an illusion. She looks at herself in the mirror and realizes that face is the face she has always seen in her dreams. Someone slaps open the door and says that he told her to come out on time for breakfast, didn't he? He asks if she thinks he's joking, saying Ravi. Camilla thinks to herself that this guy is Ravi Sorful. Right. She asks herself if she's still in a dream. Ravi asks what she is doing and tells her to follow him. Camilla, all shaken, asks herself why he is upset with her as soon as he sees her. She wonders why he is ordering her around. Camilla says fine. This is perfect. Ravi turns and Camilla thinks to herself that because of his inferiority complex, he tried to kill the oldest brother using Camilla, second son of the Duchy of Sorful. Camilla smacks Ravi at the back of his head. Ravi is puzzled and Camilla says that she has always wanted to whack his head. She calls him a bastard. Camilla asks herself why she suddenly hit Ravi's head. Anyone who had this dream for 20 years would have done the same. Camilla and Ravi's mother remarried to the Duke. Ravi became the second son of the Sorful family. Ravi had some talent for magic, but it was incomparable to Ludville, the eldest son. As his inferiority complex increased, he even planned an assassination to kill Ludville, even using his own sister, who no one was paying attention to, by luring Camilla, the ugly duckling. Camilla thinks to herself that she gets mad every time she sees Camilla die because of his schemes. She wanted to punch his face at least once. Ravi asks how she dares and Camilla makes a cute face, saying oh, she's sorry brother. She asks what she has done. She thought it was a dream because she was half asleep. While Camilla is laughing from the inside, she asks herself what he is going to do if he glares at her. She said she was half asleep, so he can't do anything. Ravi laughs it off and says that she must have been half asleep. He thinks to himself that there's no way she beat him on purpose when she can't speak up against the maids. But he wonders if she was always this strong. Ravi turns and says anyway, "Hurry up and get changed. They are late because of her." Camilla gets more angry and says as if he never cared about her before. He's trying so hard to impress the Duke. Even so, he'll eventually always die together with Camilla. They both walk and Camilla thinks to herself if she's still in the dream. Even in the dream, it was always from a first-person perspective. She couldn't do something with her own will like hitting Ravi. In that case, she asks herself if it's related to the ghost that looks like her that she last saw. The door opens and the Duke is sitting there waiting. Camilla thinks to herself that Ludville's seat is empty. So, is this around the time when the rebellion broke out in the western region? Ravi takes a seat and Camilla says to herself that by the way it would be a big problem if she can't wake up from this dream. She glances to her side and says that she has died countless times with that chilly look in his eyes. If she stays like this, she'll end up being dead. The Duke says that she's very late. Ravi startles but then gets cut off by Camilla saying her apologies. She didn't sleep well last night, so she overslept. The Duke thinks to himself that she is usually very quiet at every meal. Something feels not right today. The maid brings out the food and says that she'll prepare it for her. Lady Camilla. Camilla says yes, thank you while the maid laughs to herself. For a long time Camilla has been bullied by some maids. The behavior continued even on the dining table. Camilla says that disgusting maid. Yeah, go ahead and laugh for now. She won't be laughing anymore. She wonders what kind of meat they prepared this time. Meat full of salt? Meat with a bucket of pepper? Camilla says father and tells him that she came late today. So she wants to do something for him. She cuts it up so it's easy for him to eat. She tells Dad to enjoy this steak. Ravi asks herself if she's fully awake. The Duke says well, all right, and takes a bite. He is startled by what he just tasted. Camilla laughs to herself and says that she has laid down her trap. It's important from this point onward. Camilla gets up from her chair and yells out, "Oh father." She tells him to wait and not eat that. She asks him to please stop. Camilla says that she's sorry and that she'll take it back. She'll eat it. Ravi is left puzzled. Camilla tells the Duke to please give it back to her. The father calls out to Camilla and says that this isn't her first time eating something like this. Is it? Camilla puts her hand on her chest and says father. She laughs to herself thinking that now that she can act freely, she can't tolerate bullies like this who play around with food. She realizes why Camilla ate so little during mealtime. She needs to tell these clueless family members. Camilla says, father. But that dish. The father cuts her off and says to let's talk about this later. After dealing with those who dared to tarnish the Duke's name, the maid gags in fear while Camilla says that if it's for the family name, he's a father who would kill even his own children. Nice job, father. A week later, Camilla on her bed thinks to herself that if it's past this point, she can't wake up from her dream, right? She wonders why she can't wake up yet. Has she died and fallen asleep forever? Or is she in a coma? She hates that. A purple-haired maid walks in asking Camilla if she's awake. It's the dedicated maid of Duke Sorfel, Donna. She heard she is not eating well lately. Camilla laughs and says that she has no appetite. After that incident at the kitchen, the Duke ordered the kitchen to be more careful about the food he eats. The kitchen maids who bullied Camilla were kicked out without receiving any severance pay. All she has to do is find a way to wake up from these dreams. Camilla says that she'll eat it later. Donna asks what she's talking about. The lady often left food behind, so the chef himself came today. Camilla, all annoyed, asks that he came again. During the week, she discovered one more fact that was different from her previous dream. The chef brought the fruit cake that he's most confident in. The ghost chef says hey and tells her that he has told her so many times. When he makes food, he has to think of the person who eats it first. The chef says that she'll be able to enjoy it this time. He has heard that she hasn't finished her meal again. The ghost chef says that Camilla doesn't like apples, doesn't he know? And this cake has 1 gram less cinnamon. The chef says that he'll go back after she finishes eating this one. My lady. The ghost chef yells at him saying that he's so frustrated that he thought of him as his student. He's trash, garbage from the culinary world. The ghost yells at Camilla asking if she thinks so too. Right. The chef asks what tea she would like and says to go ahead and try it. The ghost keeps on yelling to consider the people who eat it. Please. Camilla says these are not even her own. So why can she still see ghosts here? Camilla is annoyed. The scene cuts to the Fabler Academy. One of the boys asks if the other knows her. The other boy asks what he is talking about. The other boy mentions Camilla from the Sorfel family who was chasing Petro to death. There are a lot of rumors. Doesn't he know? The other boy says he thinks he has heard of it. The boy says that he heard she stole Petro's handkerchief again and got caught. Isn't that creepy? She's always been gloomy. Isn't that what a stalker does? Last time she went on a rampage at the party, grabbing the young lady's head which Petro escorted. So even if she gets a nickname like Fake Young Lady, there's nothing to say. The other boy says to watch what he says about the Duke's daughter before his head gets cut off. They spot someone and tell the other boy to let's go back in fear. The boy says can't he see? He's famous for having a trashy personality. One of the sons of the third generation of the Duke family, Arshian Sepra, the eldest son of Duke Sepra. The first time he tasted her mentor's food, a ray of sunlight shined in her heart. It must bring great happiness if he can also make such delicious food. The apple pie that his mentor taught him was essence to a chef's life. However, the chef says that he didn't finish his food. She isn't even a real lady, so why is he being picky as if he knows any better? Just eat what's given to him. The chef says that he heard that she didn't like what was prepared, so he has brought this. The chef thinks to himself that she should be grateful that she can even taste his art. The chef says that he has poured his heart into this apple pie. Please try it. The ghost chef, all annoyed, says that he told him that Camilla hates apples. You imbecile disciple, says the Sorfel's previous chef Pierre. Camilla says that since she has met plenty of rude people in the show business industry, so she doesn't mind, but what kind of ghost is that? So loud. Camilla says alright then, she'll try it. Camilla takes a bite and says it doesn't taste good. She doesn't want to eat anymore. The chef yells out, how could this be? Does she know what kind of apple pie this is? This is the recipe the previous chef, his mentor, has. Camilla says that he has 1 gram less of cinnamon. The chef is left puzzled, but Camilla says it's alright to bring something. That should be a basic for baking. And also, shouldn't he consider who is eating it? She doesn't like apples. If no one can eat it, it's same as trash. The chef thinks to himself that is something his previous mentor had said. The chef says that he'll come back later. Camilla says sure. Camilla looks at the ghost and says that she wishes he'd leave too. The ghost is left puzzled and then realizes she is talking to him. He asks if she can see him. Camilla says she doesn't know. She's going to bed. The ghost chef is left speechless and the scene cuts to the chef yelling that he's telling the truth. The butler says to calm down and explain himself slowly. The chef says that child spoke directly to him. The butler says that Lady Camilla spoke directly to him. Says the Duchy of Sorfel's previous butler, Darren. The chef says what does he mean, lady? Does he think he's still this household's butler? The butler says that just because he has passed away doesn't mean he should lose his identity. The butler says that it is strange. She didn't act as if she saw them before. Is he sure it wasn't a coincidence? The chef says no. His own eyes surely made contact. The butler says well, let's watch and see. They have nothing but plenty of time. The chef says that is true. The butler asks if they shall play chess. It's been a while. The chef says ha. This time, he'll sure to win. A few days later, Camilla is panicking and the ghosts are looking at her. Camilla says that this is a huge problem. She guesses it's impossible to go back. The scene cuts to the garden where the Duke says that it's been a while since he has come here for a walk. The Duke spots Camilla and asks if that is Camilla. The Duke sprints at her and yells what she's doing here. Camilla drops to the ground and the Duke is puzzled. Camilla says that she's gathering flowers. The Duke is confused and asks flowers. Camilla says to decorate father's room. He likes them, doesn't he? The mist flowers. The Duke is confused and asks my room. Camilla says yes, father. Camilla from the inside laughs to herself and says to herself that the look at his shocked expression. Her father the Duke from now on. Receive her filial piety. Camilla asks if that was too presumptuous of her. The Duke says do as she wishes. Camilla's eyes light up and she says thank you. She'll put it in a vase and bring it to him. The butler says the madam, the Duke's mother who passed away, loved mist flowers. She also took care of the mist flower garden. That's why the Duke has a special place in his heart for mist flowers. Did the Duke like it? Asks the butler. Camilla says yes, she thinks so. She thinks to herself that the Duke's eyes it was definitely different from the usual indifference. She may not be able to restore the relationship right away, but she has created an opportunity. Camilla slams open the door and says, "Oh, let's move on to the next step." A week later, Duke Sorfel's aide Jactor says that Ludovill once again made a great contribution. He's truly amazing. These are the related documents. Aide says Duke as he wasn't paying attention. The Duke takes a glance at the mist flowers and says without missing a day, "She arranged the flowers." The Duke asks Jactor if Camilla eating properly these days. Jactor has no answer and is startled. The Duke gives him this glare and Jactor freaks out and says that he will go find out right away. A knock is heard and a person says, "My lord." It's him, Lud. He prepared it because he thought he might be in the market by now, says Duke Sorfel's butler. Rube. Jactor says that he believes he was slightly famished, so this is perfect timing. The Duke quickly takes a seat and asks why he is standing there and looking over this way. The butler laughs it off and says it's nothing. Please disregard him. The Duke takes a bite and says this taste he longed for. Pierre. The Duke asks if Gerald finally recreated the taste of Pierre's soup. The butler says, "My lord, that soup wasn't made by Chef Gerald." The Duke asks then, "Who made it?" The butler with a smile says that it was made by Lady Camilla. The Duke asks that Camilla made this soup. The chef says that this taste, golden color and deep scent, it tastes like Master Pierre's soup. How did she make it taste like this? Camilla asks, "How does it taste?" The chef yells at her asking, "How did she make this? How on earth?" Pierre giggles to himself. Camilla shrugs her shoulder and says the reason she was able to recreate Pierre's soup is simple. Because it was Pierre himself who made this soup. After being able to see his ghost and be able to move freely, he was able to have the ghost repossess her. The chef thinks to himself that when Pierre suddenly died, Gerald said he didn't get the soup recipe. Well, how about it? Camilla says Gerald. To which he says yes while being shivering. Camilla says that they made a bet. What was it that they decided? If she made food that can satisfy him. Gerald says what? Camilla says that should she keep looking up at him. It hurts her neck to keep looking up. Gerald is scared. The scene cuts to Gerald saying, "Camilla, how dare she say she'll cook in front of him? Is she trying to make those dirty commoners food?" Gerald says to let's make a bet. If she satisfies him, then he will do anything, even kneel down before her. Gerald, all heartbroken, kneels down to her and says he admits defeat. The scene cuts to Camilla drinking her tea and laughing to herself. The butler asks if she has anything to say to them. The chef asks if something good happened. She's making him anxious. Camilla says, "Now tell her." The butler asks, "What is it?" Camilla thinks to herself that after living with ghosts for over 20 years, she realized something. There is no such thing as a ghost who gives help without a reason. Camilla says about the mist flowers and the soup. She was grateful for helping her gain the Duke's favor. She really felt it this time. She will need their help in the future. Camilla thinks to herself that in order to survive here, and to change Camilla's ruined reputation, she can at least relieve the regret of one or two ghosts. Camilla giggles to herself, then tells them to please tell her. Who do they two want? Both of them ask something they want. The chef laughs and says there's only one thing he wants. Cooking. Camilla asks cooking. She thinks to herself if this means she wants to set up a table for ancestral rites. The chef says that his wish was to cook food again. There's nothing more that makes him happier than having someone enjoy the food he prepared. The chef says thank you for letting him cook again. Camilla says my pleasure, but she thinks to herself that she doesn't understand. But there's no need to dig for more just because they don't have any wishes that needs granting. The butler says it's the same for him too. He can help the family with the information he knows. That is great happiness. He was happy to be able to bring the mist flower back to the head of the family's office. Thank you, my lady. Camilla is shocked by their wishes and asks what are these people? Why are they so nice? Their regret is that they couldn't bring enough happiness to others. Do they enjoy being doormats? Camilla says so. She understands what they two mean. Anyway, that means they don't have any specific wishes granted. Right. She holds her cloth and says that since they are helping her without anything in return, she should cooperate too. So please continue to look after her. After 10 days, Gerald, all annoyed, says she knows how to make this dish too. Camilla says of course she can. After showing Pierre's soup to Gerald, she started cooking every night. Camilla says her neck feels like she's looking up too high again, to which Gerald kneels down again. Gerald asks how does she get such pretty colors? Is there a recipe book that his mentor left behind? Plus, that look. How can she find kitchen tools and ingredients like someone who has been working in the kitchen for decades? Gerald asks if he can have some. Camilla says it's leftover, so go ahead. Gerald says yes miss and takes a bite. He thinks to himself that it's delicious. He did the same thing. But why doesn't it taste like this? Camilla asks how about it. Is it delicious? Gerald says well, it's not bad. Camilla says this guy still wants to protect his pride. She gets annoyed and says if he wants to know how to make it. To which he says yes. Camilla says well then, be cute and try to win her favor. Gerald is puzzled and says ugh and makes a cute face asking like this. Camilla is disgusted and says to remove his hand and don't pout like that. The butler calls out Camilla and asks if she's ready. Camilla says Rube, just wait a moment. She puts something on the drink and says to take good care of these today as well. Rube says yes, my lady. Rube walks out and takes a glance behind where Camilla asks Gerald if his knees aren't in pain. Right. Gerald all annoyed says no worries. He's quite strong. Rube thinks to himself how could she make that bad-tempered Gerald so obedient? He giggles to himself. He doesn't know why, but Lady Camilla has become really interesting. How did she suddenly change like this? Rube knocks the door. He says my lord. It's him Rube. The Duke tells him to come in. Rube says the lady sent him to bring refreshments. She even fully prepared for the guests. One of the men says oh my, is he saying that she made all of that? They take a taste and says this taste. How does the lady know how to make something like this? The other men say that this is amazing. They say they are so jealous of him. My lord. The Duke giggles to himself. He says he told her it wasn't necessary but she still decided to bring some anyway. One of the men says this is why everyone says it's good to have a daughter or two. Yes, that's true. It's really delicious, says the other men. The butler says to himself that he was wondering why his lord changed the meeting time. He must have wanted to brag about their lady's cooking skills. One of the men says it's truly amazing. Lady Camilla was always causing such trouble. Has she come to her senses? I guess she was very sorry for the accident she caused at the last party to make something like this specially for the Duke. The man beside him says you crazy idiot. Shut up. The Duke is very annoyed. The Duke says didn't he say he can't drink wine? In that case, surely he can't even eat a dessert made with wine. The men say me. No, he really likes drinking wine. The Duke says no, he doesn't like wine. He can't ignore her daughter's sincerity, so he'll eat his instead. Bring it here, says the Duke. Rube takes it off the man's hand and says yes, my lord. The man says what and thinks to himself what did he do wrong? Camilla asks what is he making tomorrow? Pierre says that there is a sauce recipe that is specially developed. He's going to use it slightly to create canopy. Camilla says oh, he's going to use it slightly. Is it meat? Or fruit dish? Camilla spots someone and asks what is he doing there? Brother. Ravi gets startled and walks out with a suspicious look on his face. He asks what the hell is she doing at that time? Camilla asks what he means by what she's doing. Ravi tells her that she goes in and out of the kitchen every night. He questions why she's suddenly making a fuss by doing something she never did before. Camilla sighs and explains that she's just making food. She asks why he's questioning her. Ravi gets pissed off and asks if she thinks that the Duke will accept her as family just because she does all this. Camilla thinks to herself who cares and wonders why he's like that. She reflects that they were originally living their own lives, weren't they? It's not like he took care of her before. Ravi states they don't acknowledge them. Camilla gets startled and questions us. Ravi asks if his effort to look good overlaps with his previous efforts in the past. Ravi tells her to not do anything useless. He states it's all pointless in the end. Camilla tells him she knows. Ravi asks wait, what? Camilla explains that she knows they don't care about them. It's not like she wants to be recognized as part of the family. Ravi asks then what she's saying. She sprints off and tells him that she's going to bed. Ravi yells out for her to wait. He states that makes no sense. Camilla stops and tells him that she doesn't want to die. She just wants to survive. Ravi is left puzzled. Camilla thinks to herself yes, that's right, she doesn't want to die. That's all. Family is a useless piece of crap. She doesn't need that. The next day Camilla is drinking her tea and Pierre is gossiping to the butler. She can hear what they're talking about and asks what it is. If they have a question, she tells them to go ahead and ask. The butler asks what she meant when she told Master Ravi yesterday that she wanted to survive. He wonders if she's ill somewhere. Pierre states that she can't die yet. There's still a lot of cooking he still wants to do. Camilla thinks to herself that she knows that she'll die in the future, so she's struggling to survive. Even if she told them that, they wouldn't believe her. They might even both leave because they'll think she's crazy. Camilla explains, well, it's true that anyone wants to live, right? The butler agrees, well, that's true. Camilla thinks to herself that since these ghosts can move freely in the duchy, maybe they know where it's buried. Camilla gets up and tells them she also has something to ask. The butler tells her to go ahead. Camilla asks if they know the flower garden incident. In the flower garden incident, she tried to find the ring that was left by her mother and buried by her servants. This is the reason why Camilla dug up the flower bed and got scolded for it. At that incident, Camilla didn't even make excuses. Everyone simply thought that Camilla was acting wicked without any reason. Just like usual. At that day, the Duke was enraged and scolded Camilla. He was worried that she might one day destroy the misty flower bed that he loves. Camilla asks if they are sure the ring is buried here. The butler confirms yes, that's right. She thinks to herself how annoying she gets every time she watches this scene in her dreams. This is frustrating. Camilla finds the ring and Pierre tells Camelia that she should have just asked them for help back then. He wonders why she pretended she couldn't see them at that time. Camilla agrees that's true. She guesses she was so distracted. The butler asks Lady Camelia if they should take revenge now. As a ghost, they are able to do many things. Camilla asks what he's trying to do. Camilla tells him no, she'll take care of her own affairs. She thanks them for letting her know the location of the ring. Camilla thinks to herself that it's these guys. These guys started this first. The scene cuts to the boy asking if she called them too. The two maids say, George, you too. One of the maids wonders, wow, why did she suddenly call them all? The other maid says she doesn't know. Maybe she plans to scold them because her relationship with the Duke has gotten better these days. They laugh and say, with that personality, she'll bet her earring that she'll eventually lose her temper in front of the Duke and lose his favor. The maid laughs and agrees, me too. They open the door and get startled. They scream to see Camilla lifelessly laying on her bed. One of the maids drops to the ground asking, what is this? The other asks if she's dead. George tells them to hurry up and check on her. The maid stands up and sees these drugs. She wonders, could it be that she committed suicide? The maid is in disbelief and tells George to hurry up and lock the door. The maid asks if she's really dead. George thinks so. An envelope is left and she asks, what is this? She opens it to read it. The envelope says, Feather, and to my dear family members. The reason why last month she dug up the rose garden is because she doesn't know if it was a servant of the maid Elsie and Erica, but someone hid her mother's heirloom in that garden. As the lady of the house, she was embarrassed that she was being bullied by servants of their household, so she asks them to please take revenge for her. Father. The maid is left in shambles and worries if this falls into the Duke's hands. They suggest to let's get rid of this letter. The maid asks what? There's no reason they need to die with her. The maid says yes, but Camilla smiles and asks, hey, don't these guys believe in her luck too much? Camilla wakes up and wonders, will they always be lucky enough to be the first to discover things? The maid in shock starts screaming. The maid exclaims, God, wasn't she dead? She asks if she's a ghost. Camilla tells her that she's quite good at acting dead, you know. The maid, all startled, asks acting. She wonders if she's making fun of them. Not just anyone but someone foolish like Camilla. Camilla says, well, she guesses she can make it not just acting but reality. The maid asks what she's saying. Camilla explains that they know she goes to the kitchen every night. Right. She asks what happens if she doesn't show up at that time. What if someone comes to look for her but she's actually dead with this letter in her hand? They were deceived too. Won't other people be deceived as well? The maid yells at her asking if she's threatening them now. Camilla questions threat. Threats are only for those who have something to give. Camilla comes close to the maid and asks why would she even threaten mere insects? If it's just bugs, she just steps on them. By the way, she doesn't think she cares to look at insects buzzing around lately. What shall she do? All of them get down on their knees and plead, lady. They made a mistake. Please forgive them. They will never do it again. Camilla tells them all right. That's good. Camilla smiles and asks now they know what to do. Right. The maid is confused and asks pardon. Camilla explains that she wants them to find the ring right now. They run out saying that they understand. Forgive them, please. Camilla sighs and notes that they finally left. Acting as a villain is the best way to relieve stress, but it wastes so much stamina. Camilla looks back and asks what is it now? The butler says it surprised him. Pierre says it seemed like she was really going to kill someone if things escalated. He wonders, was it just an act? Camilla smiles and tells them that she previously won the Female Role Award for her performance as the villain role, surpassing the protagonist in the same movie. Pierre asks an award. What kind of an award? The butler wonders if there is an award ceremony for acting well. Camilla says something like that. The butler says, by the way, Lady Camilla, hasn't she already found the ring? The previous command. Camilla confirms yes. Isn't it a matter of courtesy to give back as much as one receives? Digging into an empty rose flower field. Why don't they get some scolding too? The maids panic, asking why isn't it there? They confirm it's definitely the right place. She definitely put it here. One of the maids thinks to herself that there's nothing here. Could it be that someone among them took it to sell it off? This can't be, those two can't be that stupid. A voice is heard asking, what are they doing here? It's the head butler. The scene cuts to the Duke slamming his table. He asks what? They stole the heirloom. The butler confirms yes. That is what the servants at the flower garden said. Previously, the reason why the young lady was digging in the rose garden. He thinks it was to find her ring. The Duke says he doesn't understand and thinks to himself that if she had spoken earlier, he wouldn't have scolded her so harshly. Why didn't she say anything? The Duke tells the butler to bring Camilla. The butler confirms yes, my lord. The Duke thinks to himself that yes, it's natural to feel awkward and uncomfortable to talk to someone who's recently become her stepfather. He felt awkward too. But to be toyed with by the maids and servants of this mansion. What kind of treatment was her daughter receiving from the servants? Camilla notes father. He called her. She thinks to herself that ugh, she was busy dealing with those servants. What happened now? The Duke explains that he heard that she lost her ring. Why didn't she tell the truth? Camilla is shocked and asks, pardon me. The Duke asks Camilla, why didn't she tell him right away? Camilla wonders, why does he look so upset? Does he believe in Camilla's words? The Duke says, well, she should have told him this a long time ago. Camilla asks herself if he's regretting what happened. She watched the moment that person killed him dozens of times, the way he always coldly turned his back on her. Thanks to her recent efforts, he feels slightly better, but they don't have that close of a relationship, do they? Camilla explains that's because he was always busy with work. She didn't want to bother him with her affairs. She apologizes. She wasn't good enough, she tried to solve it on her own. The Duke stands up and yells at her, asking why is she apologizing? The ones who should be apologizing are. He repeats himself, saying that the ones who should apologize are. The Duke tells Camilla that in the future, she should come talk to him first when something happens. Always be sure to speak to him first. Camilla is shocked by what he just said. Camilla wonders why is he looking at her with such tender eyes. She just needs to improve her reputation enough to not be killed. If this continues, she won't be able to run away. Right. The ghost asks what is she doing now? Camilla explains that she's looking at the map. She was wondering where she should run to. Should she need to? Pierre asks run to. What does that mean? Camilla tells him to not worry about it. Camilla thinks to herself that it would be nice if things worked out well and she didn't have to run away. Things don't always work out the way people want. She can't be at ease just trusting the Duke's attitude. It's about time that guy will be here soon. The eldest son of Duchy of Sorfel and Camilla's older brother. Ludville Sorfel. Ludville Sorfel. She must be wary of him. When he comes back, surely he will. The scene cuts to the maid saying, my lady, the Lord Duke wishes to have tea time with her. Camilla acknowledges tea. She got it. Camilla thinks to herself that since he keeps asking for tea time, she guesses she has leveled up and earned his favor. This is not a bad situation. Camilla gets up and suggests then, shall they go have a tea time? When Camilla arrives there, she spots Ravi and wonders that this guy isn't the type to have tea with her normally. So why is he here? Ravi notices she is here and tells her to come and sit. Camilla thanks brother Ravi. She thinks to herself, what a cheapskate. Why doesn't he act like this, friendly when it's just them two too? Camilla sits down and thinks to herself that Ravi seems to be in a good mood. Did something nice happen? Ravi tells father that the thesis he wrote was selected for presentation. Camilla thinks to herself that day has come. The Magic Tower invites wizards once a year for presentation, and each year they allow only the most talented and skilled wizards to present their thesis. Basically, the fact that Ravi can present his thesis means he is considered one of their best. She can see why that fox is having a hard time hiding his happiness. Ravi mentions if he has the time. Camilla thinks to herself, however, what should she do? It's about time. Jactor opens the door and announces, my lord, it's grand victory. They have received news that Lord Ludville found the rebellion's headquarters and conquered them all. And not only that, it was due to Lord Ludville's plan that he devised. The Duke, all joyful, asks, is that true? Jactor confirms yes, they have received the news directly from the Imperial Palace. His Majesty is also greatly elated and has personally sent a letter to Lord Ludville. The Duke laughs and says this is wonderful. Jactor agrees yes, as expected of their Lord Ludville. Camilla nervously looks at Ravi. She thinks to herself, what did he expect? He really has no luck, doesn't he? It's even more unfortunate that the victory party is the same day as the Magic Tower presentation. Ravi says then he'll take his leave. The Duke tells him it's alright if he wishes to stay longer. Ravi explains he just remembered there's something he needs to take care of. Camilla says that she should be heading out as well. The Duke agrees alright. He'll see them too another time. Both Camilla and Ravi walk out. And Ravi asks himself if he works this hard on his studies and wastes his time just to be treated this way. He should have just learned offensive magic and went out to battle. Brother Ravi. He was more amazing than he thought. Camilla tells him. To be able to present at the Magic Tower and all. Ravi asks if she's teasing him. Camilla denies no. She's telling him the truth. Isn't that something only the best wizards can do in that snobby Magic Tower of his? Ravi asks what does she know? Camilla touches his shoulder and tells him he did well. Ravi thinks to himself the short words that he has longed to hear from father. That idiot, why is she acting like this lately? As Ravi blushes, the scene cuts to the maid saying my lady. It really suits her. She's sure that at this party, Lady Camilla will be the most beautiful of all the ladies. Camilla agrees well it's true that she's pretty even if she looks at herself impartially. The maid promises that she'll make sure that she's gorgeous like this on the day of the party too. Camilla tells her that she trusts that she will. As soon as Ludville arrived, since that day it was non-stop party. She's sure it's a political move on the duchy but this is a bit unfair. But since she does wish to stand out, it's best to try on several outfits. Ravi tells her just don't cause new troubles. Got it. Camilla asks Ravi. What's this? Why is he here just to start a fight? Ravi explains well. She has past record of doing exactly that. In the last party. Camilla admits she's guilty. Ravi asks huh? Camilla repeats she admits she's guilty. She's pretty darn good at grabbing someone by their hair. Camilla pretends to grab someone's hair and Ravi thinks to himself why is she so unashamed? Normally she won't speak a single word. Something's really strange with her. Camilla asks brother Ravi, did he get a new outfit for the occasion? Ravi asks she isn't thinking that he's going to join the party. Camilla clarifies outfit for her presentation. Ravi's eyes light up and he says forget it while turning his face. He thinks to himself what the heck, she remembered his presentation day. He must be crazy, whether Camilla remembers his presentation day or not. What does that have to do with him? Camilla warns if he doesn't select a nice outfit, she'll be compared. Ravi dismisses never mind. Who cares about clothes? She should be wary and not cause embarrassment at the party. Camilla admits she's guilty and pretends to pull hair again. Ravi says he's tired. Why is he here? The scene cuts to the worker saying to move to the side. They are told to make sure that the victory party is elegant and elaborate as possible. Riva is taking a walk and asks himself so they are having a festival even out in the duchy's land. Even outside, everyone's only talking about Ludville. Riva clutches his fist and tells himself to let's not dwell on it. Even without family, he has been fine alone so far. In the wizard castle one of the wizards says they will have a presentation from their top wizards. A voice is heard calling out Ravi. Ravi responds jail. Ravi thinks to himself what the heck, usually when he sees him, he's glaring at him, so why is he acting all friendly? Jail asks if he's prepared. Ravi says somewhat. Jail yells out that the Magic Tower's ace. Lord Ravi prepared just somewhat. Ravi asks what he's trying to say. A voice is heard calling out Jail. It's the girls telling him to not be nervous and do his best. They believe in him, his dear brother. Jail thanks them and looks at Ravi asking who came from his household. There's no way that no one came right. After all, if he is family, surely they will attend. Ravi thinks to himself that this bastard. This is why he started conversation with him. Ravi says it's none of his business whether someone from his family comes or not. Jail questions none of my business. But he's concerned for him as a friend. Ah, that's true. Since the true son came home, he guesses they have no time to spare for their fake. Ravi brings out his hand and Jail thought he's going to get hit on the face but Ravi gets close and asks that is bragging about his family the best he can do. Jail asks what he's saying. Ravi mentions his thesis. He heard that his professor helped him quite aggressively. Right. Money is nice, isn't it? So take good care of his family. Since without that he is an empty-headed fool with nothing else to brag. Jail yells out, "You bastard." And someone walks in. Ravi asks, "What now?" While everyone was astonished, Ravi says, "Camilla." A flashback is shown where people gossip about if that child's parents not coming. The other guy says that kid is an orphan. That kid's father was the one on the news the other day. The one who tried to kill their kid and then tried to commit suicide. Yelling is heard saying that child is not his child, isn't it? She cheated on him with someone, right? The woman asks, does he want the neighbors to call the police? Stop this already. The husband says that if that's his real child, there's no way he'd despise her this much. Whenever she saw these two siblings, it reminded her of her past, during the time when she didn't receive any love or care for her parents or others around her. In the past, at least her maid Donna took great care of Camilla. If she didn't become a great actress and received love from the masses, she's sure she would have gone crazy like Camilla and Ravi. So that's why she's here. A voice is heard saying, "The next presenter, please come up to the stage." Ravi says, yes. Camilla thinks to herself that although it was annoying that Ravi used Camilla due to his inferiority complex, but she did worry that he was always alone in the family like she was. So she cheered him on. Don't lose to those idiots and waste your time. And for once, this time live a different life. She has watched him for 20 years. So it's alright if she interferes a little. Right. When the presentation ended, Camilla walks away, but Ravi asks her why exactly is she here. And that outfit. Ravi thinks to himself that although it was nice to see Jail's upset face, Camilla, when did she learn to show off how pretty she can look? He knew it. Something is really different about her lately. Camilla says she doesn't know why she's here either. Ravi was confused. Camilla says that she said she doesn't know why she's here. Ravi asks what kind of answer is that? Camilla says that she really doesn't know. She came because she wanted to. Ravi was left puzzled. He turns and sighs. Why did he even expect a proper answer from her? Ravi thinks to himself that this idiot. He should have expected this, but he feels more regret that he came running to ask her. Ravi says, "Hey, let's just go home." Camilla was confused. Ravi asks if she's not coming. "Let's hurry up." Camilla was shocked and smiles to herself, saying what the, as if he has ever waited for her before. Camilla asks brother Ravi, "Did you know?" Ravi asks, "What is it?" Camilla says that brother Ravi's face is cuter than the back head. Ravi was confused and asks what the heck does that mean. The scene cuts to the Duke telling his son he did well, attending the party as soon as he came. The Duke says Ludville. Ludville says it was nothing. Father. The Duke says that due to Ravi's presentation, it's unfortunate that two of them from the family could not come. He should have taken care of this, but it was his mistake. The Duke tells him to go and get some rest, to which Ludville says thank you. Ludville walks on the hallway thinking to himself that Camilla is taking care of Ravi. How interesting. They arrive to their mansion and Camilla thinks to herself that she guesses the party is still ongoing. She even ate dinner because she didn't want to see Ludville. Ravi says, "Camilla, he's gonna go at least show his face." What will she do? Camilla says she's tired, so she's going to her room. He can go. Camilla says to herself that she doesn't really want to see that person's face, since Camilla died in Ludville's hands the most. Ludville sorrowful. Within those hands, Camilla's heart was torn and her head chopped off. And although it was under the order of the Duke, she couldn't forget all those countless deaths. Camilla thinks to herself that at least she can kind of guess Duke's expression and face. With Ludville, he's impossible to read. It looks like it rained in the morning. The flowers are a bit wet. She keeps sighing, so let's just stop worrying about it. At least she won't die if she captures Duke Sorfel's heart. This kind of hardship, this kind of muddy road is nothing compared to the times she had to stand at the fashion show. Besides, if she runs on the golden brick road, a voice is heard saying Camilla. She says this voice is Ludville. Camilla almost trips on a rock but then turns but then asks, did he see? She's Lee Sia, the genius actress with talents given by God. Camilla realizes it was his brother standing there all confused. She really didn't want to see him. Why is he here? It's best that she doesn't bother him. Camilla sighs and with a big smile says, "Brother dearest." She was just gathering a few flowers to give him as present for his return home. It's amazing that they happen to cross paths. She tells him to please take this. Camilla says to herself, what the, does she not like flowers as present? There's no reaction. Camilla says that she'll then be going and walks away. Rube asks, what are these flowers for? Ludville says that he received them. Rube asks if he received them, and thinks to himself who gave flowers to this cold-blooded person. The butler says to please hand it to him, he'll take care of it. Ludville says no, it's fine. Rube was confused. Ludville says it's his. Rube explains that he wasn't trying to steal them. Ludville says this is the first time that child has given him a gift. Rube asks what child, but thinks to himself on why he stops in mid-conversation. Ludville says he'll head back to his room. The Rube says yes, young master. Ludville says to himself that now he thinks about it, that smile and being called a brother is a first. Camilla says she's going crazy. She thinks because of Ludville. Today Ravi is quiet too. Now she has to walk on eggshells watching all of them. If she gets a stomach ache, it's all of his faults. Ludville looks up and says he'll trade his dish with Camilla's. Camilla was confusing, asking if her meat was bigger or something. Why is he suddenly switching without asking? Ludville eats his steak and Camilla glares at him. But the Duke asks Ravi how was the presentation. Ravi says father. The Duke says that he's sorry, he should have taken more interest. Ravi says no, it was nothing. Thanks to him, the presentation went well. Camilla asks herself why the Duke is actually taking interest in Ravi for once. She thought he was only going to talk about Ludville all day again. The Duke calls out Camilla and Camilla says yes, father. The Duke tells her that she'll soon be returning to school. Camilla says yes, but she tells herself that's right. Camilla was still a student. Right now is spring vacation season, so now she has to go back to school. The Duke asks if she's sure she doesn't want to change her subject major. Camilla nervously laughs and says her major. She'll first try and work hard. Camilla says to herself that once school starts, things are going to become a headache. If possible, there's more people she doesn't want to be entangled with. At least 2. Camilla complains with her headache. The Duke says that there is a new chocolate he has heard that goes well with tea. Camilla says pardon. The Duke says and the mist flowers look a bit withered. Camilla, she understands. She'll come by again with more flowers. Ravi whispers to her, asking does she not know the meaning behind what he just asked. Camilla asks what does he mean. Ravi says never mind. Camilla thinks to herself chocolate. Tea. Did she miss a point? For mist flowers, she was just a bit late in giving it to him since she gave them to Ludville earlier. And she did have tea time with the Duke from time to time when she came with flowers. Camilla says well, she guesses it's probably not important. Ravi thinks to himself that father was the first to initiate a request for tea time. He must like Camilla these days. Ravi self-reflects and asks himself on why is he feeling proud all of a sudden. The scene cuts to the Duke Sorfel's office. Ludville asks what this is while reading a book. He's organizing the dessert shop's list that is listed here. Since that child doesn't like apples, Ludville checks it off. And the Duke asks how did he know this?